And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you in a big news week as we gear up. We lead up to San Diego Comic-Con. Of course, San Diego Comic-Con this coming Wednesday through Sunday. I will be there, boots on the ground, Wednesday through Saturday. If I see you out there, come say hello. Should be a good time, a lot of exclusives, a lot of anxiety. I'm thinking about doing a video on here is what I'm hoping to get at San Diego Comic-Con. And part of me doesn't want to do that video because I don't think I'll ever financially recover from this San Diego Comic-Con trip. You throw on Walmart Con, which we're going to get to here in a second. On top of all that, it's just bankruptcy all around. It's just going to file for bankruptcy, going to sell the house, going to be living in a tent in the field behind the yard. The one that Mark Summers takes all the kids through. We've seen it. We know all about it. But man, it's going to be an expensive week. Everybody hold on to your wallets. This actually will be the most expensive week, month, whatever you want to call it, of 2024 as far as action figures. Pretty much every single line having new pre-orders going up, new stuff going out to the stores with the resets at the Target stores and Walmart's right around the corner. And then, of course, San Diego Comic-Con exclusives on top of all that. Absolutely maddening, absolutely wild. It's going to be a fun time, though. It's going to be a fun time out in San Diego, so hopefully have a good time. Hopefully good weather out there. Hopefully a good con. More on that, and of course with that, we will not have a toy news or weekly purchases next week. Maybe we'll do a weekly purchases on Monday, something like that. We'll see what ends up happening there. But toy news, I'm going to be, like I said, in San Diego. I will be filming content out there. We will have videos, San Diego Comic-Con Day 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe some panel videos, maybe some interview videos, maybe just all kinds of shenanigan videos. We'll see what happens out there. But there will be a lot of content to come out of San Diego Comic-Con. And then after I get home, there's going to be a lot of unboxings to come out of San Diego Comic-Con. So a lot of work going into the San Diego Comic-Con trip. It's a very expensive trip, as you can imagine, with flights, hotels, meals, just paying to get into San Diego Comic-Con, all that kind of fun stuff. So there's a lot going on. Going to be an interesting, wild time. And of course, Todd McFarlane from the couch, he will be there too, so he won't be around. But Mark Summers, you said you would stay behind. You'd let us go to San Diego Comic-Con and you would hold down the fort. You'd hold down the collection. Feel free to film some videos, put some content up if you want to. I'm all here for it. What? You have some travel tips? Mark Summers from the couch, Double Dare's own. You got some travel tips? You want to share them with the audience? Be my guest.
Travel tip. When it comes to traveling, always plane, second choice, train, automobile, last choice, but however you have to get there, get there.
Well, Mark, you're like a sage wizard with that advice. Some of the best advice I've ever heard for travel, probably ever. Thank you for that, and hopefully you helped out a viewer somewhere along the way. But Mark Summers going to hold down the fort here. And Todd, you and I, we got all kinds of work to do in San Diego. More on that, hopefully, next week on the channel. Stay tuned for all that. But a little more housekeeping before we get into all the toy news. We got giveaways to do. We will be doing a giveaway tomorrow. Check out weekly purchases. One of you can win this fake Diesel figure, of course. Head to SirPaul64 on the X, the former Twitter. Find the pinned post. Follow all the rules. You still got a little bit of time if you want to get in on this giveaway. I will announce the winner, of course, on Sunday during weekly purchases. So stay tuned for that. That is one giveaway, but we got two more giveaways this month. The normal Patreon giveaway is the Monday Night Wars Ultimate Edition Bret Hart exclusive. That is the Patreon giveaway for the month of July. We've got a bonus Patreon giveaway open to all tiers of the Patreon. Anybody that signs up for the Patreon, you get in the hat for one of these bad boys. So both of these will be given away early August. Stay tuned for that. And of course, old Diesel, fake Diesel, we're giving him away in weekly purchases tomorrow. Stay tuned for that as well. Subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. And I'll see you tomorrow for that giveaway. But let's dive into it. Let's get into the toy news here. Like I said, a lot going on, and the biggest news this week came on Thursday with Walmart Collectors Con coming on the 25th, of course, next week, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Oh my gosh, what are we doing? Gonna have to get up extra early out there in San Diego because all the pre-orders are going up at that time. So be on the lookout for that next week. Going to be a lot of pre-orders, a lot of stuff going on. Our heads are going to be spinning, of course, that is for sure. And you got to imagine Ringside Collectibles, tons of pre-orders over there. The Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Stores, DJC Collectibles, all the usual haunts. There's going to be a lot of stuff. So save your pennies, save your pennies. But let's dive into the Walmart Collectors Con coming out of left field, coming in as hot as you possibly could come in with the WCW Monday Night Wars Ultimate Warrior. Oh my gosh, we're getting the Nitro staged failed figure, this time in elite form, part of the Monday Night Wars. There's nothing that sums up the Monday Night Wars more than the Ultimate Warrior. There's no doubt in my mind. Probably should have started with this one here, but man, I'm here for this. Of course, I got the old school Jakks Deluxe Classic Superstar, 1 of 20 exclusive. Read my book for more on that one there. I can't wait to compare those figures. Man, you know me, I'm here for Ultimate Warriors, especially Warriors we don't really get a whole lot or really at all mainstream release. This is going to be a very, very fun one, part of the Monday Night Wars line, so that is going to be in there. We do have 6, a.k.a. X-Pac, a.k.a. Sean Waltman, a.k.a. the 123 Kid. Doesn't really get me too excited there. It really feels like we've been there before, like a young Iron Maiden deja vu, but it is good for what it is. Lita, kind of the same thing. There's a lot of different Lita looks I'd like to have over this one. Doesn't really scream overly Monday Night Wars. I guess she was part of the mix of the Monday Night Wars, of course, but it's not too different from that old Elite back in the day, the Royal Rumble Elite. I mean, I would have liked something with a little bit more pizzazz. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me, but it is good to get another Lita out there. And then Razor Ramon, once again, does not scream Monday Night Wars to me. It screams New Generation. When I think Monday Night Wars, I think Scott Hall, and I think that's where most people do go. But Razor, obviously very popular. Going to get a deeper cut Razor Ramon figure, part of this in the Elite line. And then the Build-A-Figure is an awesome idea. I absolutely love this. It is NWO Dusty Rhodes. And a lot of people are probably saying, Dusty Rhodes was in the NWO. Well, everybody had a tour of duty on the NWO for the most part. Dusty was no different. So an interesting set. The Warrior and Dusty piqued my interest the most. 6, Razor, Lita, just kind of there. At least in my opinion. You guys shout out yours in the comments down below. We do got an Ultimate Edition, usually part of these as well. We're getting Triple H. It's time to play the game. Once again, Triple H coming to the Ultimate line again, this time in the Monday Night Wars. No notice or no news as far as a WCW counterpart. Maybe there won't be one. Maybe it'll be announced later. We'll see what happens there. But these are all going up on the 25th. Remember that. Samoan Dynasty 3-pack. How about that one? That is an interesting one. Roman Reigns and, of course, Afa and Sika, the Wild Samoans. Very, very cool 2-in-1. I love a 2-in-1 pack. I'm going to have to buy 2 of these. I'm not going to like that price point, but I need 2 of them. I want old man Afa and Sika, and I want young Afa and Sika. That's what I want. I guess I'll have an extra Roman Reigns out there for a custom, or I'll sell that and get some of my money back, whatever it may be. But very interesting 3-pack. I guess this will take the place of the Maivia 3-pack that's at Walmart stores right now if you're looking for one. There you go. But that's it for wrestling right now. We are getting G.I. Joe, a little G.I. Joe part of this Walmart con. Of course, I love good G.I. Joe 2-pack, and that's what we got. We're keeping it on brand with the Night Force. Check out the Night Force Shockwave Night Pursuit pack I unboxed on the channel this week. But we got a new Night Force 2-pack here. Lieutenant Falcon, oh, he's coming back with a vengeance, and a new head sculpt to boot. A lot of people complaining about that old head sculpt. They're going to be very happy to get this new head sculpt this time. So that'll be very interesting. And then we got Quarrel, a deep cut. And a lot of people saying, who's this Quarrel? I said the same thing in the 3 3/4 figure subscription club back in the day. 25th anniversary. Quarrel was part of that. That was my first understanding of Quarrel, so I knew about her, but a lot of people caught off guard with this one here. But another deep cut into the G.I. Joe Classified line. Coming to Walmart. We also saw a figure we've been waiting to find out where it's going. It's going to Walmart. It's He-Man and the Masters Universe Origin. It is the Horde Trooper Prime. So a little bit of an army builder action there. Kinda, sorta. We got that coming. We do got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We got a wrestling figure. I guess a wrestling villain. It is like Crying Hound. I don't know the character. I don't know the wrestling turtles. I'm in for them. I like the idea of them. But this is, I guess, a guy they wrestle. There you go. How about that? So we got that coming. We also saw officially, I pre-ordered this like 2 weeks ago. I went up for pre-order. I pre-ordered it. It is the AEW exclusive Brody King and Darby Allin. So the next 2 exclusives did get those pre-orders in. And of course, Venom Spider-Man Retro card. Another Venom figure coming. Everybody loves the little Venom. He is coming to the Walmart Con. So a very expensive day at Walmart Con. Just like, of course, San Diego Comic-Con, everything else hitting next week. A very expensive week. Just got a call. My Jeep's in the shop getting fixed. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a huge expense on top of things. Fixing trees that are falling down. Just something going on all the time. That's just the way. A new oven. I got a brand new oven just recently. Just money, money, money. How do you get more of it? I guess that's the key. I don't know. I'll have to get a part-time job or something. Maybe that's what I'll do. Who knows? Who knows? But a lot going on at Walmart Con, but we're not done. We got AEW San Diego Comic-Con. Of course, Jazzware's announcement finally came this week, and it really divided the audience in a lot of ways. It is Kenny Omega, I guess Captain Canada, kind of. It's almost Captain America, Canadian themed, Kenny Omega, extra heads there. It looks to be a Supreme Kenny Omega with the butterfly joints, things like that. Looks like a good figure. It does relay into the Comic-Con if you think about it. Captain America, Comic-Con, all of that mixed together. I think that does work. That does work pretty good. I'm here for that. It's an interesting one of 1,000, so it's going to be a little harder to get. But I like the idea of what this is, and it is on brand for San Diego Comic-Con. And it's a perfect one of those examples where maybe you don't need it. It's not like a first time ever Kenny Omega. We've never had a Kenny Omega. This is the first time we've got it. This feels not as special as that. So it's for the Comic-Con. If you want it, you get it. If you don't want it, you can move on and probably not feel too bad. You'll be able to sleep at night. Trust me, you'll be able to sleep at night. So that is coming. Can't wait to unbox that on the channel as well. And Super 7, all kinds of announcements. I'm still on the fence on that Turtle Wagon. I still can't believe they're doing that. I don't think I'm going to be able to swing that, unfortunately. But man, that's a wild ride if there ever was one. But we got Super 7 Ultimate Thundercats Groon. We had this leaked many moons ago. Officially announced this week. But also announced this week that will be at San Diego Comic-Con. It is Lion-O and Mumra glow-in-the-dark eyes. So apparently they got batteries inside them, going to make them glow. Will we get pinless joints this time with Lion-O? I hope that is part of it. I hope it's not a straight re-release of the last one. But we got those coming. Very cool once again. I don't know. We're going to see how all of this stuff does line up. So a very interesting lineup from Super 7 this year. They got a lot of stuff between G.I. Joe. They got all kinds of t-shirts, prints, you name it. They got Thundercat stuff. They got Turtle stuff. You name it. They're not messing around this year at San Diego Comic-Con. Super 7 going very, very hard. So we'll see where that ends up netting out next week when we're out there on the boots on the street. We got Masters of the Universe Origins fan vote. This kind of came out of left field. I presume these images are dummy images. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll find out more. Once again, a theme here, San Diego Comic-Con next week. We'll see what happens with that there. We also saw a little leak action this week. A little leakage. Oh, nobody likes leakage. Tell my differentials on my Jeep that. Nobody likes some leakage. Wolverine vs. Deadpool. It is, of course, the movie. It's coming up. Apparently, they're going to have a showing at San Diego Comic-Con is the rumor. But there was a little bit of a leak of Wolverine, of course, from the movie in the yellow costume. It looks like that is right around the corner. Have to imagine we'll see that probably early fall in our stores. So keep on the lookout for that. Got to imagine a Deadpool will accompany it. So we'll stay tuned for that. We did see this week Mondo. I was like, well, they're laying in the weeds a little bit. We talked about the Cyclops exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con. Only one of 650 is what they're going to be. So that's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking there. So we got Cyclops coming. However, we heard on the stream this week. Mondo does a stream a lot of times on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I guess it was Thursdays this week. But there was an announcement that Rogue and Omega Red are going to get variants in the future. I guess there's like a Disney convention coming up, and they're going to be sold there. As of right now, I'm like, I don't know if I can get an Omega Red and Rogue variant. I think I'm good with the ones I have already. Don't know if I need doubles up on those, even if there's a little bit of paint differences. Might have to sit both of those out, most likely. But we did get an announcement officially, and it looks like for my poor wallet's sake, San Diego Comic-Con is going to be where Scareglow and Scaremare make an appearance. So Scaremare, that threatened vehicle, steed, whatever you want to call it, the giant horse for Mondo is coming. The first time we've got a Mondo figure is the first time in the He-Man and the Masters Universe world. So that is going to be very interesting. I guess Scaremare will kind of make its way throughout the Masters Universe from here on out, but this is the first time we'll ever see this, and Scareglow will be able to ride it. So just like Panther and Battlecat, we'll have a big giant horse. Got to imagine $500 probably for something like this. Absolutely wild, but it'll apparently go up for pre-order San Diego Comic-Con, so stay tuned for that. Man, oh man, that's going to be a really cool one. I'm very excited about that one. we'll see what happens. But speaking of very expensive things, how about the G.I. Joe HasLab right around the corner? All signs do point to the Rattler. There's been other kind of clues around for other things, but sounds like it's the Rattler. I haven't been too deep into the investigation. I'm just kind of going with the crowd, I guess, at this point. But it sounds like it's going to be the Rattler. They've been promoting it. It will be officially announced at San Diego Comic-Con, and then I think it'll go up for order through early September. Of course, different tiers, all that usual stuff going on with this one. So going to be very interesting to see how this one does. Do people have room? Do we have room, especially after the Dragonfly comes? I guess we're all going to find out sooner rather than later, so we'll stay tuned to that, but that announcement will be coming very soon. An interesting announcement from last weekend in the wrestling headspace here. We've, of course, got big rubber guys. The homage. Oh, don't start. Homage. Todd and I always go back and forth on that one. But we do have a company called Luni, which is known more for a store, kind of a store selling action figures and stuff. They have their version of an LJN Macho Man, apparently about that same size. PVC, so a little harder plastic, I do think. And it's not too different from the original LJN Macho Man, just kind of turned and articulated a little bit different. But we do see this coming from Luni. I did chat with them briefly. They have a lot of big plans for the future. It'll be interesting to watch this and how this develops in the future with this brand and these figures. Very interesting. You guys know me. I like my guys big, and I like them rubbery. Full of rubber, and that's what this one is going to be. So be interested to keep eyes on the Luni, see how far it goes, see how deep it goes. But they got Macho Man to start off. That's not a cheap license to get. That's a heavy hitter. So we'll see what they can do with the old Macho Man, Randy Savage. Just a couple extra things to announce. We got a little Todd McFarlane talk here, and I'm sure a lot of Todd McFarlane talk next week. Should be a lot of announcements from the DC Multiverse line, Spawn line, and all the other properties he's touching these days, including Marvel, those statues. We talked about those last week on the channel. But we saw the McFarlane Toys Store exclusive, Jonah Hex. Oh, remember that movie with the Mastodon soundtrack? How about that? But we got Jonah Hex coming with his horse. McFarlane Store exclusive. Of course, got the most out of those horse molds. We got Jonah Hex. Is it the boomerang body? That's kind of what I thought it was of the first instance there. But a cool deep one if you're into Westerns. Hey, there it is right there. So we got that coming. And then Todd, an interesting one, and I think people are a little angry about this. I don't really care either way. It's not going to be for me. DC Superpowers, a crowd fund. Batman, Robin, you got Mantis and Aquaman and some vehicles. Different tiers, different packages you can buy. A lot of people say, Todd, you're the richest man in all of toys. You live on a couch, so how could he be that rich? He hangs down here all the time. But if you're here for this, if you're into that Superpowers line, I'm in. I am in and out of that one. I'm basically a clearance buyer on the Superpowers line is what I am. I don't get too worked up about it, but if you're into this line, if you're a diehard, man, it's coming in hot. You can check that out at McFarlaneToyStore.com. So check it out. Vote with your wallet, as we always do say. But there it is. That is the toy news this week. A lot going on the eve, we'll call it, of San Diego Comic-Con. Remember, like I said, next week, big San Diego Comic-Con, we'll have videos over there. Stay tuned to all the fun stuff along the way. Plus the normal videos. You know me, I'm getting way ahead, working late nights the last couple of weeks, getting ahead on videos. So there won't be any lack of content, that's for sure. James Brown, he's smiling somewhere. He's smiling somewhere. But now we got to get down to it. We got to get down to the album of the week. All right, album of the week time. And album of the week this week was an old classic. Whenever I think of this band, I always think back to Study Hall back in high school. Always had them in my Discman. Always rocking out to them. A band I've always seen multiple times every single year. However, ever since COVID, they've kind of been dormant. We'll see if they do have a glorious return. And I guess they did return a little bit in the last week, doing it a collaboration, we'll call it. We'll call it a collaboration with the band Ice Nine Kills. And I gotta be honest, I thought it was pretty terrible. The band, Real Big Fish. Love Real Big Fish. Don't really like Ice Nine Kills with Real Big Fish, but love Real Big Fish. And the album of the week this week came out on my birthday, way back in 2002. It is one of their most angry albums, I would say. It is the album Cheer Up. Yeah, can't cheer up there with that clown, of course. But an all-timer from the Real Big Fish camp. Absolutely love almost everything Real Big Fish has done. It's not quite heavy metal, more ska, punk, a little bit of metal tendencies from time to time, but always enjoyed Real Big Fish and went down kind of memory lane checking out that album today. Listened to it a couple of times this week. Just a very fun album that always puts you back in that headspace of high school, for me at least. I don't know about you guys out there, but love me some Real Big Fish. Album of the week this week, Cheer Up. And I'm going to cheer up my way to San Diego, leaving here in a couple couple of days. All the duties, all the different stuff, all the excitement, I'll try to bring it to you guys on the channel. So look out for those videos very, very soon on the channel here all next week. So hopefully it's a good time. Hopefully it's a good Comic-Con. Hopefully we all get what we're looking for from the Walmart Con, the Target Geek Out Fest, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Enough to make your head spin like The Exorcist this day and age for sure. But hopefully we all get what we want. And what are you looking for out of San Diego Comic-Con next week? What are you looking to get? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day and then some. We're going to have more content for you, of course, over on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this very YouTube channel. Appreciate all the support. Check it out for the giveaways, all the bonus stuff, tons of stuff every single day over there on the old Patreon channel. Once again, appreciate the support over there. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget that one. And then, of course, SirPaul64 on the X. Check out the giveaway. Still got time. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for another week of toy news, you know what I'm doing. I'm strutting and strolling, rocking and rolling my way to San Diego.